Hello again, it's Noob, and very exciting because today we get to look at some tools from Covert Instruments. This is the decoding tool bundle. There are two decoding tools for combination dial type locks. I've got some examples to show you a bit later. And this is not a sponsored video. These were not sent to me by Covert Instruments. I paid for them with my own money. And these are very thin. This one is a little stiffer. This is 10 thousandths of an inch. This, however, is 6 thousandths of an inch, and just look at how thin this is. You might think to yourself, why would you want two in a bundle? Well, it's because the 10 thousandths of an inch one is a little bit more durable. If you can fit this between the lock body and the dials, then use this one. It's going to obviously last a bit longer and just be a bit more robust, while the thinner one, you might see a little deformation on the tip, not by very much, I have to admit, but this was just caused by testing earlier, so it's definitely something which you'd want to have two tools. However, you do need to use the very, very thin one for some locks with extremely tight gaps between the lock body and the wheels. So yeah, let's go on to do some little demos and I'll show you what this is all about. So let's take the first decoder, the one which is 10 thousandths of an inch, and use it as a bypass tool. And you can see on this cheap black spur combination dial padlock, it's all locked up. This is a lock which isn't made very well and has got quite a lot of gaps between the dials here. And what we can do is we can just put this in between the wheels, push slightly down so it's at that angle, gently pinch here to support it, depress the shackle, lift up and then pull, and there we go, we have a unlocked padlock. Let's try the same tool on a marginally better made lock, and you can see here that the space between the dials and the body are a little bit tighter. Now, can we get this one in? It's going to be very, very hard to get this 10 thousandths of an inch tool between them, so already we're struggling here. So let's go down to the 6 thousandths of an inch tool, this flexible one, and pop that in between the dials, and we should be able to get straight in. There we go. Now, I'm not saying you can't go in with the 10 thousandths, but it's going to be a little bit hard, and if you really push, you're going to put a kink in the whole thing, so don't force it. If you can use a slightly smaller one, if you have to use that one again, then let's do that. So pinch, push down, lift, and we are open. I've got the sister padlock, and again, can we use the more robust one, the 10 thousandths of an inch? We'll give it a go. Some of these are made slightly differently to each other, and again, this one appears to be very hard to get the tool in, so again we will go to the one which is 6 thousandths, and it just slides in so easily. Press down, pinch, open, and we're done. Now, this is a Masslock 175, and this is one of these which has slightly, I think, shielded wheels, which means you can't easily get a tool down the side of them. It just has a way of sort of resisting putting the tool in, but with a very, very slight bend, in the tip of the tool, we should be able to go in between one of these wheels. I think it's this one, we can get it in. And there we go. You can see how it deflects the tool slightly this way, showing there's some shielding on the wheels. But because we can get this in, I believe we can go straight underneath. And again, pinch, rest it on a table if you can, pinch, press the shackle in, lift, and we are open. And you can see that that isn't deforming very much. If you use this over and over, yes, it will absolutely deform. Eventually, you'll probably need to get some replacements. So far, I've used these decoders as bypass tools, but they are actually decoders. How do they work? Well, for some locks like this, these key safes or wall key safes, this one's one which you can hang off a door handle, it's like a realtor's key safe. You can use these tools to put down the side of the wheels. On very, very cheap ones, you can go down with a thick one. In fact, on this wheel, you can go straight down. And what you can do is you can actually grip the locking bar at the back and pull it forwards into the wheels. You can also do the same with the thin one. And what I've got here to show you, the combination on this is all zeros, to show you that this notch in the tip of this tool actually really does grip the, it's like a locking bar. It's like a bar which drops into the gates in the back of the wheels and opens the lock, really. You grip that with the little tip with the notch in. And to show you that it really does grip, notice how this 0 is on the line, these two aren't, and this one isn't set to 0 yet. So what I'll do is I'll go down the side of one of these wheels, I'll grab, because you feel it, you'll grab that locking bar, and watch what happens when I get this wheel into a 0 position. So I can feel it resisting, so we need to get to the right number, and when it gets to the right number it will wiggle. But what happens to the other wheels? So I gently pull. You can actually pull these other wheels. As I pull the bar into the gates, it'll move those wheels to their correct position. So that's how much kind of pull you have on the mechanism at the back. It'll literally pull these into line like that. So see how these were not in line? Just by pulling on that bar and forcing that bar into the gates, these are all aligned, and now this will open up. So the idea is with this tool, of course, is it will be completely scrambled. You'd put the tool in between a wheel, you grab hold of that bar, you'd find the binding wheel, and then you turn it until you feel it's going into a gate, and then you should feel it wriggle around. Then you can go to the next one, which is binding, and again you turn it and turn it until you feel it go into its true gate, and it should wriggle around. Then you can swap over to give yourself some space, and then try and find the next one, which feels like this one, and again you can just go along until you feel it jump into its gate about here, and it's nice and wriggly. And then this leaves this one here, and once you have it all set, you'll feel it. Yeah, I can feel it sort of drop in just then. Ah, perfect. And then I know that that's the correct code, which is all zeros, of course, and we can do an opening. So yeah, very cool. So there you go. That's a little short run through of the Covert Instruments Decoder bundle. These decoding / bypass tools. What do I think of them? Well, they work exactly as they're supposed to. It's really nice to have two of them. The robust one to make sure that the thinner one has a longer life. Use this one as much as you can. Use this one when you have to. That notch really grips onto I call it a locking bar on those key safe style locks. They're thin enough to get through really tight little spaces between the wheels and the lock bodies. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. I don't really have any downsides to these because they just are what they are. They work in the way that they're intended. They don't do anything fancier. They're pretty good. If I had to say what else I would add to this set, it would be a sharper decoding tip at an angle, because those are really good at decoding the flat spots on combination lock wheels. So you get ones which are sort of more of a knife point, and the angle of those allows you to just test the flat spot on a dial when it rocks back. So what I would do is not change these, but add another sort of bypass / decoding knife to it, which has a more classic combination decoder shape. So I'd actually have a triple pack. That being said, this double pack comes in at the moment on sale, I think it is, at $16, which is around 13 UK pounds, or normally I think $24 or around 20 UK pounds, so that'd be $12 or £10 per tool. Like I said, I'd happily spend a little bit more to have a third tool in the set as well. Now, one thing I would say though is I don't think, and things may change, so please check, I don't think that Covert Instruments send things to the UK at the moment. So obviously if you want to check out their website, go see where they do ship to before you purchase anything. But yeah, if you like these and they do ship to your country of location, then go check them out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. I certainly enjoyed making it. If you did, leave a like. If you have any comments, leave them below. I really do read them all and try to reply to as many as I can. If you haven't subscribed, now's a great time to do so for more content like this, and I will see you all next time.